Good afternoon. My name is Alberta Lopez. I am with the Office for Victims Programs. I'm Grants Financial Manager with the Division of Criminal Justice. And I would like to welcome all our dignitaries, any state departments that are online, our guests, CDPS leadership, all of our leadership, which includes Executive Director Stan Hilke, Deputy Director Jana Locke, and all the division directors, as well as our fellow co-workers and all those in person. The Inclusion Support Work Group is hosting these lunch and learns, and we've been doing this since last year, last September. And I'm sorry, it's so different when you're live. You know, I'm used to being at home wearing yoga pants. Anyhow, the Inclusion Support Work Group consists of myself and the following members: Teresa Staples, who's way back there, Teresa Denninger, Ted Lucero, Dee Stevens, Kevin Rance, Jackie Tannenbaum, Kirsty Nixon, who's present, Patricia Billinger, who is also here, and Laura Apodaca. This group has been working really hard for all this time, over a year, to bring up these presentations to you, and without the dedication of their hard work, these would not happen, as well as the support of our leadership, our supervisors, and these simply would not be happening. Today we are hosting Lunch and Learn to honor National Hispanic Heritage Month, which runs September 15 through October 15. And as a reminder for those in person, there are sopapillas and honey for all in person at all the tables. Yes. That's kind of a push for my Alberta's Kitchen channel. Anyhow, I just wanted to point out that it takes 12 bees their entire lifetime to make just 1 teaspoon of honey. Oh. Yeah, the honey should remind us not to take anything for granted and think of the sacrifice people make all the time. And these little bees, you know, think of that. I always like to put a spin on that. Before I introduce you to our musicians, I want to provide a little background on the poetry jazz movement called Poe Jazz. The music created during the Chicano movement by international Chicano groups were also a part of the music explosion that occurred in the 1960s and 70s. Music was always present at political rallies that were organized to inform the populace of issues of paramount importance to Chicano communities. Creativity has become the norm with modern-day musicians as they use imaginations to combine various forms of cultural entertainment. One such creation is an intersection of jazz music and the written word of poetry in a concept referred to as Poe Jazz. Its cultural equivalent is what is termed Flor Y Canto, or flower and song. The duo, with the addition of a guest flute player, Donnie Lucero, will take participants into some of the history of La Raza through relevant music and poetry. Now, please allow me to introduce our guest musicians. Dr. Ramon Del Castillo, who you probably remember from last year when he did a 3-part Lunch and Learn series on critical race theory. This Lunch and Learn is going to be a lot lighter, and it's going to be a lot more fun, I think. The duo with Freddie Rodriquez Jr., they do Poe Jazz as a musical genre to entertain and teach its audiences. Dr. Del Castillo is a published poet, educator, and conguero, who's a conga player, who has spent the last 4 decades teaching audiences and students through a variety of educational genres. Freddie is known throughout the state of Colorado as a master musician and singer, playing in both clubs throughout Denver and in many community-based events. He is the son of Freddie Rodriquez Sr., a saxophonist who dazzled Denver's music scene for 60 years. Freddie has played with local bands, namely Latin Crossover, Chili Willy, which I believe that's your band, right? Yeah. Yeah, and one of Denver's top bands, Jakarta, including the Mary Louise Lee Band. Mary Louise is the wife of Denver Mayor Michael Hancock. Sometimes the duo is joined by Donnie Lucero, master flutist and percussionist. Donnie recently produced Congas on the Rockies at Sloan's Lake to celebrate the 75th birthday of international star Carlos Santana. The special event was 75 congueros playing tribute to one of the greatest musicians in the world. Donnie has been promoting since 1978. He brought into our beautiful city, Tito Puente, Malo, Tierra, and coordinated the first Cinco de Mayo of the Civic Center. It was back in 1989. He's also done Taste of Colorado, the Black Arts Festival, Telluride Jazz Festival, and just a number of Jazz on the Rockies, different jazz venues across the state. So without further ado, or I guess sin más despedida, I hand this over to Ramon.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's nice to see. The last time I saw you, you saw me, it was on Zoom. So nice to be here in person. I want to thank Alberta Lopez and the team for being such great leaders in promoting diversity and social justice and the things that we as musicians and poets and so forth are very in line with. We're going to do some Poe Jazz or Flor Y Canto. Flor Y Canto is an old Nahuatl concept that comes in the 15th century. It's flower and song. When somebody was born, the philosophers and the poets would get up and they would introduce that person to the community, and the musicians would play, and they would attach that music to them. We kind of got that and played with it and it's called Poe Jazz. So with that, we're going to do some tunes. Maybe we'll have, if there's any questions from folks here, at least we can entertain them. If not, we'll give you, hopefully you'll enjoy it and that you don't walk out with indigestion. So with that, vamos a empezar. Confession, it won't cure the recession. You won't go to hell, just purgatory, to ponder about statutory rape at the hands of the oppressor. There's no time to lose, watching the well-oiled machine cruise. It's time to shout. a global nation on the brink of destruction, but there's no cussing, just new versions and revisions about visualization to tear down modern day colonization. Paper clips on these papers where they get all mixed up. We play a second tune called Listen to the Chingon Sounds. And for those who don't know what chinga means, it's really a tough word about really caring about people. Let me see. Okay, ready? Ready. nuestra cultura, que falta la cura. They were tattoos carved on hands, reminds us of a lost time where there was not a Chico nursery rhyme. Listen to La Raza Rocks on Sunday afternoons, sitting in front of a bowl of menudo, hecho para los crudos, and the hot boiling blood from the night before runs down swords and fileros on the streets, in uptown beats, in Denver, Colorado, donde toca la música, telling stories and cuentos of Bronx people, never to lose faith. Yeah, we're going to recover from rape and the historical domestic violence of a time when our nursery rhyme was melted down into gold. Social amenities from uncaring masters and get down disasters. It's time to explode like ancient volcanoes, the lava from a boiling pot mixed with burning desires and red hot fires, transformed into stone, hard to the bone. The red hot almas, manos palmadas, are now clapping not away as bodies swerve away. And the sounds of Pedro Infante, Santana, and Malo fade away. Brothers and sisters, listen to the jingle sounds. It's just another day. Oh,
Even though it's fall, we're looking forward to springtime.
I was invited to do poetry at the county jail several years ago. I worked in part of my background is mental health, and I used to run a clinic called El Centro de las Familias. So whenever people fall apart, I tell them, don't worry, because I can put you back together. That's what I do for a living. And I do it because I love people. We do what we do because we love our community. We want to thank Alberta for inviting us. This is kind of apropos, I hope. It's called Finishing Jail Sentences because I told the group, if you want me to come back to do poetry again, you're going to have to write poems. And so about a month later, the director called me. She goes, you ought to see all the poems we got. So I went and listened to the inmates read poetry, and I wrote this poem called Finishing Jail Sentences. Soul Brothers sat quietly and listened to a Chicano veterano poet. He was keeping an old melodic tune, telling stories about crossing borders while putting quarters in old-time jukeboxes, occasionally cracking a smile, not to rile or not to dream, or concoct schemes without monetary means, but to enlighten deteriorating minds covered with poor grind. Paco's vocal sat in awe when a crow flew around the room, making his strange call, reminding them of the last straw, the last chance not to romance, hookahs held in hostage in a hood, to ask for prayers from women who have withstood painstaking loneliness while kneeling in front of La Virgen as visions wither away.
I hear the train coming, rolling down the bay, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm so close to prison, and time dragging on. The train keeps rolling down its end.
The Soul Brothers, they slept next to the rock piles the night before, as chains hung on the master's walls, covered with stained blood, while wrinkled hands clasped out, searching for keys to unlock the rusted cell blocks, while sweat dripped from nightmares, recollecting folkloric stories in all their glory, from ancestors floating down from an abyss of historical drama. They were just men needing hugs from mama. There were sharecroppers, great-great-grandsons of great-great-grandmothers, who were maids, false maids by races with slippery tongues. They were heirs to great-great-grandfathers who wore top hats, long tails and starched shirts, standing at attention, each other felt attention.
I'm here the train rolling down the bend, and I ain't seen no sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, Kentucky dragging on. But that train keeps rolling down its end.
They were heirs to great-great-grandfathers who wore top hats and long tails and starched shirts, standing at attention in jobs without retention, scars on backs, greased slacks, guarding the gates with cheap rates, repressed souls on ice. They had no pomade or hairnets, only memories, slowly sleeping out, keeping tune with the rhyme during the month of June. Matos Locos, they were ready to recite Rhapsody, to keep that old melody about sorrow and hurt. A canción, a corrido, now bien podrido. They only worried about whether a cockroach would encroach into their solemn space, or cucarachas would scurry in a hurry, looking for human flesh divine. A body locked in a cell, a spirit refusing to go to hell, waiting for a school bell with pencil and papers in hand, wondering if they should scribble those repressed thoughts on a slab of paper, write a verse or an epitaph, a despedida about life, promising to change, leaving with a Glock and ammunition. They were encouraged courage to finish their jail sentences in poetic forms to destroy old norms.
I hear the train rolling down the beat, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, Kentucky dragging on. But that train that keeps a rolling down in San Antonio. That train that keeps on rolling down in San Antonio. Way down in San Antonio.
How much time do we have? What time is it now?
12:08.
12:08, and we're not late. Okay, we're gonna do one, it's not in our destiny, right?
Okay.
Right?
Okay, it's good, yeah.
Okay. There's actually two poems. One is called It's Not in My Destiny, and then I just combined it with one called It Is Not in Our Destiny. So let me put it up here where I don't have them memorized. It'll take way too long for Big Daddy to try to memorize all this stuff. So, we're ready to go.
Mother, it's far too many of you crying. Brother, there's far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving. Oh, what's going on? Oh, what's going on? Oh, what's going on? Oh, what's going on?
Who's going to shovel the ashes of Ukrainian children, burned to a crisp, and placed them into body bags, and mixed them with ideological order called human genocide? The next weapon sold for a quarter on the common market. Will messages of human destruction be spread across cobblestone streets? The casualties of death caused by the elites, the fatalities of technological warfare, of a ruthless nation, sporting men hidden in plastic masks, unable to discern right from wrong, planning for the next attack. Who's going to summon the withered spirits roaming in countrysides, floating in an abyss of loneliness, heaving lifeless bodies on cement streets, victims of a war-torn nation without an explanation except to rationalize genocide as unintended consequences, the price of war, leaving another big scar.
Oh, what's going on? Oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on?
quetzales en los perritos, whose destinies are becoming bilingual pajaritos, to salvage the next generation of raza suffering from cultural extinction, now locked in cages on both sides of a fictitious border covered with American drapes so they won't escape, while politicians flicker a smile as the border wall stretches another mile. Who's going to salvage the broken hearts of broken families whose absconded children perished in U-Haul trucks as skin melted by the sun's rays, and children without names, without sobrenombres, no longer able to be sold as modern-day slaves.
Oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everybody?
Protect third graders, innocent children trembling under desks in the classroom, while a half-starved mental patient bleeds internally from the alienation of the times, carrying assault weapons during a crazy episodic event. Children whose caretakers couldn't muster up enough courage to save innocent lives, now etched in Barrio's memory, insanity at its best. Who's going to create termination rituals for those young souls who departed prematurely? Who will do una limpia to restore the balance and create harmony as their spirits march solemnly into the fifth world, El Quinto Sol, where wise healers and curanderas, chamanes and voodoo priests, spiritual leaders have gathered for a despedida, a ceremony to honor the dead? Who's going to tell them a bedtime story about a nation losing its glory in their language as their spirits vanish?
Mother, everybody thinks we went wrong. Who are they to judge us? Simply because my family's too low.
The emaciated bodies of Native Americans uncovered beneath Mother Earth, dying in boarding schools, now euphemistically called American Indian residential schools. Children whose brains were chopped off, names changed, identities stolen, culturally raped. What words of wisdom will Grandfather Creator include in his sermon during their spiritual reincarnation? Will he summon ancient flute players, the rhythms of drums to play soft music during their despedidas and their departures? When will he smoke from the sacred pipe full of peyote and sage so we can heal from this rage?
Oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I'll tell you what's going on.
Come down during the silent night, pray for healing, and take spirits to Nepantla, a sacred space in between two worlds, encircled with the sweet smell of sacrosanct sage. now left with only a dark cloud, sacred smoke, smoldering from a revered pipe, a medicine man, praying for a safe soldier during a second trail of tears, as human droplets of memories are sprinkled onto la tierra sagrada, la curandera, under the light of the moon, will perform holy rites and rituals, blessing young souls, waiting in las lágrimas de la gente. Who's going to write an epitaph, a Freddie's name, paragraph in the next history book? Will that be you? Well, what we'd like to do for maybe a few minutes is open it up for any questions or comments, but no criticism, because you get a poem against you. And let's talk for a few minutes. We call it la plática. A plática is different from a conversation. A plática comes from the heart. It comes from the soul. And what we try to do is tap your emotions about all these hard issues that we're dealing with, so that we can talk about how do we heal. I'm a healer by training. I was trained by a curandera. I'm not a curandera, but I'm a healer. I didn't want to go into that world. That's too. There's a lot of power there that I have to deal with. So anyway, questions, comments? Come on. Right here.
I think as an individual such as me, raised in the inner city, I think part of healing is through music. And I think that you guys are doing, I mean, I love your music. It takes me back to when I was a kid growing up with my parents. But I think part of healing, music plays a good part of that. Because I think a lot of people can connect with music.
What's your name?
Courtney.
Courtney. Sister Courtney shared some of her knowledge, and that she thinks that healing comes through music. We tend to agree that it's good for the soul. So thank you very much. Any other questions or comments? Feel free to comment. You don't have to have a question if you just want to make a comment about this afternoon, this morning.
I have a comment.
Okay.
So there are so many ways to appreciate cultures, right? Like we have lectures, we have all these different talks and raising awareness of different cultures, but we don't always think of it through music, all the time. And there's so much passion, and so much depth in music, and it can reach people in ways that, just a talk or, and it reaches people in different ways. So it's so relatable, and it's like they say, music is universal. And it's so good to feel enlightened and inspired and educated about various cultures through music.
So the lesson she gives us is that we can use music to teach culture and to heal. When I write, I do my best writings when I'm in my room and I turn on music and I just sit there and just let it flow out. I tell my students when I teach poetry, no, it doesn't matter if you can spell. It doesn't matter if you don't write complete sentences. It doesn't matter. Just write from the heart and the soul. You can clean it up later. Because don't ever lose that feeling when you've got that. The muse is inside of you. Musicians, it's inside of you. It's there. Do something with it, because you know why? You'll forget. I know that, and it's not because of my age. It's because the mind just goes and you forget. So, God, what was that image I had in mind? I write from imagery. So do that, and Next time we come, you can come up here and do your poems and we'll play music. I think that would be awesome. That then you become part of the healing ceremony. Okay? Is that next?
Sounds great.
Yeah. Give us your name.
Yeah, my name is Tomasa.
Tomasa.
Yeah, I think what you're doing, like a combination between music and poetry, is so beautiful. I was like living in the moment. It makes me disconnect, sometimes from the war and the problems and everything. So I love poetry, I love music, and I really enjoy being here. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for the comments, and she teaches us that there's healing forces, and that she went through a metamorphosis, a combination of poetry, music, and digging deep in your own soul, and figuring out what is it that I'm feeling about things. And we do a lot of work. One of my brothers is a psychodramatist. It is utterly fantastic the work that he does. He works from people coming out of prison in Canyon City. He lives in Colorado Springs, drives to Canyon every day. He's a Vietnam veteran that's healing from his own post-traumatic stress disorder and uses healing as his healing, if that makes sense. So I'm going to bring him into Denver to do some work with, we hope, Su Teatro. They got a big mental health grant, and I've been helping them with the mental health side of it, but I'm going to bring him in, and it's powerful, and it's all confidential, because he asks people in the audience, what do you want to do? Where's your pain at? And do you want to do something with it? So we have a tendency to wear masks real well. We all wear masks all of the time, and sometimes we ask people, take off the mask. Who are you? ¿Quién eres? So as your group, don't be afraid to do that. It's hard to. We as Chicanos have become so accustomed to wearing European masks that they get stuck. And we can't take them off. We have to really concentrate. Take the mask off. You're not a professor right now. You're not Ramon from the barrio in Wichita, Kansas. What's going on with you? I went over there for a reunion the other day and saw people I hadn't seen in 40 or 50 years. It was very enlightening. So learn how to take the mask off. It doesn't hurt you, but you have to trust. Trust that people you're with will understand. So that's your job. Build the trust with the people, and you talk about it. We do healing circles. When I ran the department, in any work that I've ever done, we've had healing circles, which is a small circle of people getting together and talking about how are you doing today, what happened. So, you guys want to add anything?
I do. I've been playing and collaborating with Ray here for, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years now. And what I like is, we call it Poe Jazz, or he calls it that. I like the combination of the written word with the music, which has lyrics, of course, too. And I think it's a great combination. Don't you agree? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I have a great time because I come from a big musical background, so we play oldies but goodies. We play some current stuff. We did today, but and jazz and blues, and so it's a great combination. I enjoy it a lot, Ray. Yeah.
I did a couple with Ramon, and I like the concept, the name, and I think we're going to do more than we're doing now. And we love the audience, and to stay in touch with music. That's what makes you grow into finding out what's really going on. Right.
We're going to close up with just a song, not we've done every one except one. That would take longer, so just
Do grooving, did we?
yeah, we did. To do it with some, or you want to just do it?
Why don't you say a few words and then we'll close out with Poe Jazz.
Okay. Okay.
Poe Jazz.
Okay.
Can I just say thanks from our...
Please do.
Yes, I'd like to just thank all of the musicians here. Me gusta la música mucho. And our leadership for supporting these type of events. You know, we've kind of done some groundbreaking things, and we couldn't do this without the support of our great leadership. So I want to thank everyone for that. And, you know, you just brought it's so much fun to interject this fun and this lightheartedness into our department. You know, we all are so busy, we all do really serious work, and it's just nice to have it's really nice time.
Okay.
So,
Let's do it again.
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay, we're gonna close down with we didn't do children. What happens is that we practice, and I keep thinking, well, we already played that. Yeah, we did, but we played it we will practice this. I was invited to San Pancho, San Francisco, Haight Street. Haight Street is where all the poets used to gather during the Chicano movement. Well, I was about 25 years late. But a good friend of mine called me and said, "You're the main poet here. Will you come down to San Francisco?" And while I was there, I met the old beatniks with the cholo. So I came back and wrote a poem called Cholo Beatniks.
On a Sunday afternoon, couldn't get away too soon. Oh, I can't imagine anything that's better. The world is ours whenever we're together. There ain't a place I like to be except but grooving.
Cholo, young cholos. They were rapping hip hop. San Pancho filled to the brim with creativity, while coffee cups suffer from poetic envy, and a touch of Kahlua is added to spike the alma. A new generation of Cholo beatniks now clap in rhythmic range, not having lost the innate ability to snap fingers with stability as the chotas cause the pain. Poetry, recited in a new form called Mona Poema, or tightening the key, opening the door to an introduction of Rasa poetry, never to be lost in oblivion. These young cool cats create images of their true selves in espejos, all to be leaving an indelible mark in history.
Keep on spending sunny days this way. We're gonna talk and never time away. I feel it closer day by day. Would it be ecstasy? You and me endlessly, Donnie. Once again on the flute this afternoon, Mr. Donnie Lucero. And can we hear it for Dr. Ray on the congas? Go ahead, Ray. Cause he's grooving, oh, on a Tuesday afternoon. Reading, couldn't get away too soon. Oh,
Take me back to Café Internacional, con la raza mezclada, como un gran sanada. Congregate, utilizing a new street lingo in a new form called poetic lingo. A place with a social conscience is tan muy picoso. The young cholos tell stories of urban life when old glory was torn to shreds on the streets of San Pancho, and when poetry takes a dialectic tune, poking fun at those mato rats who have become successful, while their urban counterparts will soon become statistics in a world that has become sadistic.
On a Tuesday afternoon, 'cause I'm really gonna get away too soon.
Take me back to San Pancho, where the young patos have replaced their rattlers with the new toy called hip-hop poetry, where healing takes place as young people unveil their inner frustrations and a sense of catharsis is created, where young souls become vulnerable, telling confessions in words that rhyme without the presence of a nursery rhyme. Oh yeah, it takes place on Saturday nights en una casa de café que se llama Café Internacional, in a place called San Pancho, where poetry has become the main honcho.
Cross the grooving on a Tuesday afternoon, when I'm feeling can get away too soon. Everybody sing. I guess that's it, right? We're done?
That's it. Thank you very much. Put your hands together. Donnie, Lucero, and Freddie, Rodriquez, and Ramon Del Castillo.
Now, someone worked very hard to make these delicious sopapillas.